What, it's gonna feel like control?
Feel like hack. That's what it felt like to me.
Well, I'm not drawing, I'm tapping.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
Pretty big. It's coming down.
Yep. Well, you're
early rocks here at the Cincinnati Mixed Doubles Cup Final. Apologize for some audio troubles to start. Great shot there by Ishan. A little tap. Could not remove that rock from play or the whole situation would go back. Team Allison from St. Louis has hammer to start.
Okay. Didn't get that out, huh? Sure.
Okay.
Three, 3-7.
Ice will always start out a little slow at the beginning.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I don't think you're curling over either.
Nope.
She threw it fairly big.
I think I'm just going through.
Yeah.
Trip hazard.
Well, it's still there.
Draw? Oh, it's okay, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know how hard to throw this. We'll find out. It's fresh here. Probably gotta go then.
We gotta get it over home.
Nope. Sorry.
Theirs?
Yeah.
No, just draw.
This way or this way still?
This way still. Well, yeah, this way still.
All right.
I'm not worried about getting to theirs. I'm worried about getting to the button.
Isn't theirs on the button?
What?
Isn't theirs on the button?
I don't think so. Maybe it is.
Oh, okay. So not what I just threw.
Not what you just drew.
What did I throw?
You threw a 3-3-9.
Okay.
And not so wide.
Yes, not so wavy.
Good little pre-shot debrief there on what happened for the last shot and how to adjust moving forward. And, best laid plans. She's
Still there.
just about the exact same spot. Ishan had hogged his previous rock. They were questioning the ice speed. After watching Flannery go through,
Same
Ishan
thing. I'm kind of like I could throw it to be heavy and try and chip
came
the
a
back
little
one.
light.
You think? Oh, I mean, let's just get it there, but not gonna be. I'm not gonna be light this time. Oh, so in off. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Stuff wide.
Lots of room.
It's grinding.
How big?
It's big. It's back. Look at it.
Okay, line's good now. Go ahead, yep. Yep, all the way.
It's always tricky in that first end with fresh pebble.
Okay,
Sooner. Sorry.
it's fine.
A little quicker deceleration maybe than we're used to.
Start grinding.
Yeah, they
bit
just played
wider.
like what 45
fresh.
minutes ago, so just trying to adjust to the new ice conditions.
All right. I'll
Your
tighten
last
it-
one was a 6.3, so
Okay. I'll tighten up the line. And I have backing.
you have backing, yeah.
Line's better. How's the weight?
Weight's good. Maybe a little heavy.
Just a little heavy.
Okay, so more than a little heavy.
Connection to the rock and rolled in behind the other yellow. Yellow sits one in the first end. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Alright, look at the angles. It's fine. Yeah, yeah.
Just need it to sit behind it.
Yeah. Edges, tons.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Yeah, throw hard.
All kinds of hard.
Yeah, weight's good. I think.
Got plenty of room. It's so wide out there. You want to take it to the back? Okay.
Okay.
It's not curling.
Your turn to try.
Yeah, just a little tricky on the fresh ice here, trying to figure out how much ice to take, how much curl is there at the beginning. Typically by the second, third end.
Right.
I think I probably want a 3.6, like you've
Calm
been throwing.
You
But
think?
yeah,
Okay.
but mine won't go as far.
Dude, you need new shoes.
What?
You need new shoes.
Who, you?
No,
Oh, them?
you.
Me. You think it's my stuff?
I don't know for sure. I'm
Also
choosing
just
to blame
picked up
you.
some.
Where have you
Allison
been, Amy?
Flannery, Allerson.
I've been
Picked up,
coming in. So
Some
probably at the
debris off the
yellows.
ice, accusing
Okay.
her dad.
It's just
of
holding out. It's not
shedding.
curling yet. 5-6.
On it for line! Ah, you're gonna hit it.
One yellow.
Michael Allison coming up late with that last stone draw in the first end. Yellow steals one at the Cincinnati Mixed Doubles Cup final between Aaron Dunphy and Ishan Sethi and Flannery Allison and Michael Allison. I will get their names right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been quite a ride. Big shout out to all our volunteers who have helped make this event possible. Thanks to all the players who traveled from all across the country. Belfast, Maine, all the way to Denver, Colorado. Lots of teams in between. Columbus, Cleveland, Detroit, Illinois, Kansas City, St. Louis here in the final. against Cincinnati.
Try like middle 8.
Here in Anishan are opening with those 2 pre-positioned stones. If you're new to mixed doubles, we always start and end with 2 stones pre-positioned.
Yeah. You're good.
Second end sometimes is tricky. You may have played the first end all down one side. They're choosing to stay on that side. So it should be a little keener.
We on it?
Yeah.
Not quite getting the weight in the line right. Over curl and crash on the guard.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Don't die. We've made it this far into the weekend. No dying now. All right, make it. About 4. Which is probably more weight than you just threw.
Probably. Obviously. Which way am I coming? I guess I'm
I'd
going
go
that
this
way.
way. Don't know about that much more though. We'll see.
Flannery thinks it's a little big out of hand.
Going through.
Just through the back side of the rings. Out of play. Yellow's up next.
2.
Sean choosing to throw the number 2 stone.
2, 3, 5.
They're just confirming which stones they're throwing out of the set of
turns
8.
Just gotta really scan the guard, I guess. That's fine. That line was probably pretty good, right? The one you took?
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I was just light.
I see a little more than that, I guess, if the card's there. Huh?
70.
It's wide right now. You can go if you need to, but
No, I
it's
don't
not a
need to.
curl.
No.
It's trying.
It's heavy.
It's trying.
It's grinding. Can you hear it?
Get in the 4-foot.
Do you want me to push it over?
In the 4-foot, yep. Whoa, no, it's there, it's there, it's there.
It's there, yeah. Good shot. Nice shot.
So the term push it, making it curl, sweeping with the rotation of the rock is kind of the goal there. The risk is you sweep it deeper into the ring, so they opted not to push it.
What was mine? A 3-3?
Yep. Well, 3-7.
3-3-7? I'm surprised I went that far.
Thought it was going to grind, but we are speeding things up.
Yeah.
All right.
3-7, 3-7-5.
Probably his was a 3-7. They said.
Okay.
Those numbers are the split times from back line to
Yeah.
hog on the delivery end of the ring.
3-7. It's slow.
Looks like a real good shot here.
My bad. Sorry.
Just a little thick on the
Yeah,
nose.
hyper. I thought I was narrow.
This way?
Yeah.
Or am I? If I take a guard, it's not awful. Gotta hit what, like half?
Yeah.
I don't have much more than that. Which is fine. I like this.
Okay.
Should have been pretty dead straight, right?
It's pretty straight. Depending on the weight you throw, you might get a
I'm
little
gonna thumb so hard.
Yeah.
If I wreck the guard, like it'll open things up for us a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, oh, oh. I think it's, yep, ah. Sorry, Aaron, I missed the call.
That's all right.
Almost too
Sorry.
good. He was trying for the double.
You were
Overcurled a bit
perfect.
Yeah.
and ended up stuffing on his own. Red sitting 1. Yellow is second shot. They roll slightly to the more open.
Do you like the cold draw or do you like the tap?
I like the tap, but I want it to be inside the stone.
Yeah, I just got hyper.
So, similar weight to last time.
Okay, it's further out though.
Okay, so about same line then.
Like it's, I think, significantly farther out.
Yeah, you don't have to be significantly in.
Okay. Popped it out.
So the call was to draw and tap that yellow in off it. They ended up missing about a rock to the outside and ended up shoving it in closer toward the center, and now yellow sits 1.
If I'm 2, are we sitting 2?
Yes.
Okay. Speed's probably getting close here now. You think?
I think it's picking up. For sure.
Well, it's not awful.
Light's not awful.
Pretty good ad.
Okay, 'cause it feels light.
So get around that guard, get into the 4-foot
Okay.
area.
Yep, line's good now. Yep. Yep. Yep, drag it in. Drag it in, you got it.
Sweeping. This is the guard
Yep,
by
yep, yep,
a good
yep.
rock.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's got a girl. Pretty good
bad.
shot. The angles are lined up to jam. Not bad.
Oh, never mind. It's still my turn. Ignore me. Am I doing anything different?
Then what?
Drawing?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I do back of the house heavy draw. Try to
Okay.
get it. Well, we want to get inside of it. Question is, how do we get inside of it?
My concern is if I wick off of it, I'm over wicking.
If you what?
If I wick off, I'm afraid I'm just going to roll.
In our way?
Huh?
In our way?
No. Like if I just wick off the inside of that top one, do I just keep going past our own?
You might.
With a heavy draw.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I'll try to make it better.
Okay.
I'm not sure how yet, but I will try.
So Flannery's concern is that if she gets inside of the nose of the yellow target rock, does she just roll past the guards and out the other side?
I suck.
Yep.
Don't think that's possible, but we shall see. Curling's a slippery game. She ended up getting that one outside, and I think the weight was close to what they were talking about, just outside the target line. Looks like yellow sits 2.
Play that side. I don't know what that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're here, it's fine.
Okay.
Ishan sees that. I think Ishan and Aaron both see that as a dangerous shot. And if they ever got, that's the draw to get one for a red.
Just lobbing one more on the yellows does do anything for us?
Yeah.
Like, gotta make them deal with that.
Yeah. I don't do that. What am I taking?
Good question.
3/4?
I think you can take.
Is it gonna bend on this side?
Yeah. What's plan A?
Plan A is to draw.
Is
it.
pin. Okay.
Yeah, pin it.
Yeah. Try
Plan B is to be a little bit light.
try 3/4. I like 3/4.
Is it pressure over here?
It should be.
I think this is
Yeah.
it was great conversation there. Not many rocks played down this side of the sheet in the game
Yeah.
yet. So just a quick conversation about line and speed on how to get this to the pin.
Got time in the room.
Guard.
Okay.
Ishan audibling that it's going to be light. So they've switched to the guard call. Line was probably
good.
close.
Yeah. All right. Your turn to try it.
We don't have really any choice on which side we're going.
I think I heard Ishan say it looked like
I'm
more
hoping
out of
for
your
not
hand,
telling out
meaning
who's won.
it was
It's
going to
two.
go faster, but probably
Are you
decelerated a
throwing
little
that?
better on the fresh ice.
I'm throwing the draw. I'm hoping
Okay.
to tap enough, at least to get them out. I don't know if we can get
Okay.
the shot. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I need to get inside.
That's our stone.
So I'm not going to ask you where you've been aiming because.
Huh?
So I'm not going to ask where you've been aiming because.
Well, I haven't been throwing where I've been aiming.
I know,
Let's
that's
be
what I'm
clear
saying.
there.
They definitely have a communication style that tries to keep it light and stress-free. Father-daughter pair of Michael and Flannery.
Yes, for line. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Needs to be close
Switch
to
it
this
around.
guard. If he wants to make the shot, he's around it. Not sure if he rolled far enough. Looks like he did.
I think you did.
One red.
One. Good job, Dad.
After two ends of play here at the Cincinnati Mixed Doubles Cup Final, we have a 1-1 tie. Between the Allisons of St. Louis and Dunphy Satie of Cincinnati. If you want to learn more about curling here at the Cincinnati Curling Club, check us out at cincinnati-curlingclub.org or shoot us an email at cincinnati-curlingclub@gmail.com. Yellow will have hammer this end.
I thought you were
Red
trying
be
to find
shooting
whether it's still
first.
one or two.
No.
Looks like a standard setup with the center line guard.
Good sweeping. Thank you.
Good throw. Are you saying you're going that way again?
Yeah. What was the weight on that last one?
I stopped it early.
Okay. That looks heavy to me.
Yeah, I'd say it looks quicker.
Line! 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 Hard! Hard, hard, hard! 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 Yeah.
Michael got a little inside the path on that one. Took
I
the
got it to
guard.
bite.
What?
It's biting.
Oh, what'd you throw? Oh, you're throwing. You're throwing the one. Sorry.
I get this going.
Thought I was gonna throw.
Feel my legs
They're in.
Just a
Middle.
reminder that this team came through 2 tiebreakers last night.
Middle
Quarter
plus? I don't know.
semi today, 3rd game of the day.
Yeah.
Endurance starting to kick in for both players.
Yeah.
Sean leaving that rock high, hooked on that top red guard.
Second time this direction, I think it's starting to go more.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't suck so much.
If we'd gotten by, we would have knocked theirs out probably.
Yeah. Okay.
What weight you trying to throw?
3-7?
Okay.
Seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Looks like the Allison team's just trying to get a rock around this center guard pair. I'm joined in the booth right now by Chris Perlson, one of the players from the event, who plays locally here in Cincinnati as well. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
Goodbye.
How did your weekend go?
Weekend went okay. We had a lot of really competitive games.
Sorry, I should have curled it.
We didn't play as well as we wanted to, but we showed up, put in a good effort, played some really good teams, and got some points out of it.
Yeah, that's a big part of the goal here for players. You play with Aaron's sister Shannon.
That is correct. I play with the other Dunphy.
The other Dunphy on tour.
Yep.
You're sporting a bit of an injury. She's sporting a bit of an injury. So goals maybe not as high as you wanted. If you were healthy.
Correct. Yeah, it's always difficult playing injured, but at the same time, going out there and putting forth good effort and being safe, showing up always feels good. But we're not pushing it. We're just trying to get some experience, get in with the other teams, and showing them, we're here to play, and we'll be there next.
Yeah, it was on that note, well, 2 notes really. I mean, your injuries aren't super massive that you're risking future crippling, debilitating stuff. But at the same time, like you mentioned, 6 teams from the club here participating. Every one of them won a game in the round robin stage. 3 qualified for quarterfinals. Outstanding, really, performance from our members of our mixed doubles league.
100%. I think it speaks volumes for how much skill the club has gained in the past 2 years, specifically in mixed doubles. Adding an extra draw alone has, added that many more competitive teams to the mix. I think there's at least one team that this is their first year of mixed doubles play, and they're showing up to a World Curling Tour event.
Yeah. Even the team from Kansas City was the same story. They had a first year. Both players were first year players, and they're starting their life on tour, trying to get better and trying to reach for those goals of going to nationals.
Yeah, and even being able to play against players that are currently going to go to nationals. I think that's a huge opportunity for a lot of players regionally, and specifically out of the club, showing them that their skill level is up there with and close to some of those national ranked players.
Yeah, it's a good point. Just a quick check-in here. Yellow sits 2, mostly covered behind those center guards. Robacher Skebby played in the event last year, made the final, lost the final to Wheeler Moores out of Denver.
Mm-hmm.
That team went to nationals. I believe got into a tiebreaker that year, if I'm not mistaken, but certainly Robacher and Skebby learned a lot from that game and qualified for nationals this year, coming up in a couple weeks. He was in the booth earlier in one of our earlier games, and yeah, he was full of praises as well. Just really interesting development here in the region of all of us pushing each other to higher heights and preparing each other for potentially going to nationals and turning some heads.
Absolutely, and you know, watching teams that I compete against on a weekly basis showing up in a final is really refreshing to see with the talent that we have coming to these events. Ishan and I play together on Thursday nights in our men's competitive or open competitive league. Ours just happens to be a men's team. So I'm rooting for the home team here, but it's really great to see the success that the club is
I can try it.
garnering from these types of events, and the efforts that you and all the other volunteers are putting in every day, all day.
You could draw through the hole if you want instead.
You can see it's really paying
That was
dividends.
my first fall.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
when we
let's go
built this
for it.
club, when we started building this club in the summer of
If you can do it, I like it
2019,
better.
I figured we'd always get to this point, but we
about that.
Yeah, well, I
I
know.
was shocked at how quickly
Let's go for it.
the learning curve for all the players were at every level within a 2-year
Exponential.
period. It was wild. You know, we were answering questions that we thought were only going to be asked at
Since we
year
don't know
7
the-
after year 2. So it was that's always been a real joy to have some of those conversations about the finer points of whether it's the technical parts of the slide or strategy or team dynamics, communication, team chemistry, and all that stuff. Like you said, you and Ishan play together on Thursday nights. Brody and I play together on Thursday nights on a different team. And then the 4 of us get together and play, you know,
I gave you a different hole.
in different bonspiels and qualifiers for club nationals. So, yeah, just playing with different players and seeing different styles of play and pushing each other to pressure situations, I think makes us more comfortable in the future going forward, right?
Yeah, and I think that's critical for most developing clubs is to get out there, you know, show support for your region, show support for your club, and go to those other clubs and really try it. And I mean, I can't tell you, I mean, I knew a little bit about bonspieling from my parents, but until you do it, you don't really understand how valuable that is for the relationships and the growth of the sport. Because you go to those clubs, you get to meet awesome people, have a good time, and then they come to your club. I think it's, you know, I think I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I can pretty much go to any curling club in the United States and feel welcome, or maybe even know somebody.
How's the way?
No,
know?
I'm chuckling on the side here, but like you as a member of the Cincinnati Curling Club might have the most travel miles for bonspiels.
Oh, no,
Oh, yeah.
I was gone.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I'm a big proponent of it. I think
Not ideal.
if you haven't had a chance to bonspiel, I think you're missing the other half of the game.
Yeah, you've rattle off some names around the region, but I'm pretty sure you've been to Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne and Bowling Green and Mayfield and Nashville, maybe to the south.
Yeah, Nashville.
I'm not sure how far east you've gone. Pittsburgh.
Done Pittsburgh. Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, you're right. Those are all pretty easy drive times. You know, we certainly feel for the Allisons here. After we played them, we had a great sit around the table afterwards, chit-chatting about their arena club situation and how they're going to try to move forward toward dedicated ice. Time will tell
Yep.
if that comes to fruition or not.
Closest spread.
They need a little bit of help. They need a bit of a champion in their city to pull some stuff together.
Yeah, and like most curling clubs, I think we exhibited
We're way
the
outside. Keep it
communal
out there.
aspect
Keep it
of
out there.
pulling
Keep it out
together,
there.
and making it happen on our own when we didn't have a big donor, we didn't have all of that, and we bootstrapped a lot of things to get to this point. So it's doable. I think that's the key.
Yeah, and that was kind of refreshing having a quick chit chat with the team from Kansas City because they recently opened their dedicated space very similar to ours in a warehouse type of situation, and yeah, they're super jacked about just the ability to practice more often on good ice and get more consistent. And then when they come to an event like this, they made the tiebreakers. They weren't out of place. They didn't, you know.
You're playing with the same rocks, the same stones, the same conditions as the other teams.
Yeah.
You know, it's and I, as somebody who's curled on arena ice, and,
Yeah, I like
you know,
that slide.
we have this conversation
I like it a
often. Sometimes being on arena ice teaches you how to read ice a lot better than club curlers.
Yeah, we've said that for a couple of years now, that all of our members who transitioned with us from the arena to the dedicated ice, they pick out the subtleties in the ice conditions really quickly.
Yeah. That's a great shot by
Big hand there by Aaron, clutch.
Speak of the exactly.
Ishan sweeping his guts out there to get a 5 spot on the board.
That's big.
Only 6 rocks in play in mixed doubles, so to get a 5 early changes the strategy tactics big time. They can go on defense now and really start to frustrate the opponents. 6-1 after 3 ends of play here at the Cincinnati Mixed Doubles Cup. If you're tuned in and you've got a company you want to profile, reach out to us to do some sponsorship. You can reach us at cincinnati.curlingclub@gmail.com. We're always looking. We're a non-profit facility, a 501c3, and really appreciate all the support of our members, but there's always room for more. Come on in and join us.
I mean, that's the only way I even knew this club existed, was I had a corporate outing to a learn to curl type scenario where we got together on the ice, and it was fantastic. And that's the only reason I'm in. I mean, I knew about it, but it's great to come out to those types of events and build it, and it builds the community too.
Yeah, we've done, my gosh, the corporate events. I can't even count them all now. It's a lot. It's big companies, small companies, Christmas party style stuff. Lots of just team building type of styles of events that, that people have a lot of fun. We teach a basic lesson for those type of classes, and then we maximize the gameplay, maximize the fun. And man, I take a 30,000 foot view. Sometimes I back off and let my volunteer instructors kind of do their thing, and I look at all the smiles and the laughs and stuff going on, and at the end of the day, they're walking out the door
Which side do you want to go on?
with a better appreciation for the Olympic sport they see on TV once every 4 years. The Olympians make it look easy for sure.
I'll use this one.
They're training. A lot of them are training full time. Specialized coaches, specialized training programs and nutrition programs. It's something that the amateur athlete just has no access to. No time to do that. No.
There's behind us if we go this way.
Yes.
You got a family, you got a job, you got all that kind of stuff in the way. But certainly, if you're playing twice a week at a club level type situation, you can
It's
kind
light
of
and narrow on it.
make a dent in these type of tour events and get
on,
better as a
hard.
person, get better
All
as
the
an
way.
athlete.
Yeah,
We're
and
wrecking. We're wrecking.
it's really fun to see those high level players at these Bonspiels. Last year, I had an opportunity to curl against John Landsteiner up in Traverse City. And again, this is a normal, anyone can sign up event, and you're playing next to someone who has an Olympic gold medal. And, shameless plug for another club, but I mean, their Cherry Spill, they actually have 2 Olympians going this year.
Oh, did they?
One from Canada and one from the U.S. So
Oh.
Landsteiner's coming back, and
Yeah.
then I think it's Brad Jacobs.
Oh, for
Someone
real?
will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Traverse City up there in the, what is that?
Mitt.
The Mitt. Forgive me if I
Where-
don't my
yeah.
Michigan
Us-
Mitt references,
yeah.
but up in
Just
the
hold your
pinky
hand
finger,
up,
right? But they recently got to a dedicated ice facility space. There was a lady from that club that we played against this weekend, and she was filling us in on some of the details. And yeah, fantastic news for that facility, that club.
Oh yeah.
They're making waves in their local community, and they've got a good future ahead of them. I think they've set themselves up in a situation where curling ice will be available in Traverse City for a long time.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Grind it.
And speaking of good curling here, I think they're
Yep,
setting up
yep.
a pretty decent end
Whoa, whoa,
here.
You're right. Sorry.
You know, with that little tick in the first, but now coming around, trying to get back to that
Yeah.
back red, a little heavy here.
Yeah,
But
just a little.
I mean, that line must have been speeding up the whole game. It looks like.
Yeah, I feel like this is the fourth end now, and they've played up and down that side of the sheet for 90 to 95% of the stones.
High. Not more than normal.
They're still debriefing on that, scratching their heads a little bit on how much weight they threw. It's all good. I think the local Cincinnati team here can afford to give up one and get Hammer back.
Top 4.
Yeah, I think if they cut them
Thoughts
out
on
of
weight?
that outturn side, or at least it looks like the
3-8?
outturn from my angle. It's always
Yeah.
fun to do the
The
transpositions. but
right-hander outturn from,
Yeah.
from the top of your screen as you're looking at it online right now. So they,
384.
Team Allison throwing
8-4,
Red Rocks
8-4.
here really needs to load up the house, get a bunch of points. Don't need them all back
looks
now,
right to
but
me.
definitely want to get a deuce or 3 here. Did he fool? Did he get
it looks
fooled?
pretty good here.
You were right.
Took a little panic sweep there. Slipping
Slip
behind T.
behind T. So
That's a good shot here, Chris.
I'm always going to
You know,
defer to
in-
you on weight. You're closer
when it
to
comes to the Dunphys and Eshan, they can draw with the best of them. I think getting to that top button position, buried behind that center line red guard, will put a lot of pressure on them. If they can get frozen, they're going to really lock them out and put a very difficult time of them scoring one here.
It's not.
You know, they're trying for multiples, obviously, because they're down big, but if they lock one in there, it's going to tighten it up completely.
Yes, sir. I was going to ask you, do you think that rock's a little deep? Will the pin still be exposed if they freeze to it? Or does it matter?
You know, that's one of the struggles is like game of millimeters. If you're covering that pin, but if you're not locked, you're exposing yourself to getting pushed sideways with a tap or something like that to open it back up. So I think, you know, my call here would be get as frozen as possible to that back red and just start stacking them up. If you can get a quarter locked on the inside, pretty good. Fortunately, this one looks sailed
Yeah,
wide.
A little bit heavy again. A little bit
Yeah.
wide. Did not curl as much as they thought. Red still sits 2.
Looks like he's got a pretty decent bailout with that run yellow on
Actually,
the
about
end
the
in
same weight.
Cincinnati. In case he needs
3.9's
to
okay.
come at it a different way.
Yeah, certainly from the red perspective, the Redstone perspective right now, if they got, what would you say, top 4
Top
on
4,
that path, maybe 11 o'clock as the skip is looking at it.
Yeah, top 4 half open might look tasty to someone.
371.
Seems large at 371.
Woo.
Yeah,
can
that
tell by the
speed,
way
that
it's
should
running.
sail back
Yeah.
into the pile.
Starting to move, though.
Creating quite the wall back there.
Just a lot of speed on that one. She was closer to hack on that. Unfortunate miss there. See if Team Dunphy Sati can capitalize on that. Can you speak a bit about that, Chris? Certainly, nobody wants to miss a shot, but sometimes I feel in mixed doubles, it's not how many you miss or how many you make, it's when you make them or when you miss them.
Yeah, I think thinking through the miss is big. Game of probability is all this is. At the end of the day, you got to think about what shot are you going to have the highest probability of making for a better outcome. Because we're all club curlers. Love to make the hero shots, but they're generally the lowest probability. So thinking about the miss, planning for the execution, but going through the A, B, and C progression, knowing where to miss, I think is the biggest learning curve we have. Is, you know, Ishan's going to be throwing this rock. He needs to know that if he's anything, he needs to be narrow to move that center line guard, have an exposed situation for Aaron.
Even a little light's probably okay.
A little light's okay, and you know, unfortunately, this one seems to have slid deep again. But I think there's that progression of thinking through the misses, and having that last draw available is going to be critical most of the time.
Better.
We always do.
All right.
Looks like Red's got 2
3-9.
stones left to Yellow's 1. Those other stones sitting there in the shot you're just looking at were the pre-placed stones for that end.
383.
Flannery threw
383.
383, which is a little slower than the one she just threw. I don't know if it's slow enough though.
Yeah, I mean, based on what
Probably
we've been
looking something
hearing out
closer
there,
to a 4, right?
I want something close to a 4. This one looks to be checking up pretty good, just beyond T line if I had to
Did not
guess.
lay a lick of the broom to it. Yeah, great shot, great result.
But if anyone is going to be throwing this, I want the draw right where Ishan's putting his broom right now. Just lock it right in there. You just saw the path. You just saw the weight. And it gives you a lot of confidence in making these shots.
Aaron's shooting this one next.
Yeah, I think Aaron's up based on the number of rocks. I would say Dunphy special.
Take a breath and calm the nerves and dial in the speed.
So how do you get to the level of focus that you need on these types of shots when there's that much pressure on you where you don't make this, you're giving up 3? What goes through your mind?
It's tough. It's tough. It's taken a long time. I tell you, I'm almost 50 years old now, and I've been playing since I was 15, and I've missed a lot of easy draws to the 8-foot for victories over the years. It takes a lot of self-awareness to calm your nerves, take a deep breath, you know, whatever trigger word you've got, or sing a song in your head. Audra Adams was here earlier, and she was
Oh, this is looking good.
humming a tune to herself going down the ice to keep the nerves in check. Ishan just pounded
shot,
that
Aaron.
the whole way.
Great shot.
Great shot.
I think he put as much as he could into that one from what I can hear.
Should we try to pick it?
Because the glory of our club is we can hear a lot of what's going on the ice from
No,
the
I mean my phone.
booth.
is either-
Yeah,
and you can hear those brooms going.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll hear Ishan clicking a little bit when he's sweeping. He's got a watch,
goes
I
this
think,
way.
that's banging against his broom shaft there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything metallic or bionic or anything like that, but
It's all that sweeping power.
Yeah.
6 feet of
There's
fury.
that or there's-
yeah, certainly, like you say, Chris, those
this is longer, but it's our
those
color.
foul shot mentalities,
That's
those
shorter,
you
but
know
it's their color.
big moments,
I don't think we give up
similar-
no matter what we do.
kind of mindset to golf in a way to calm the
Of
nerves
course, I
and
said
just
that
go
before,
back
and
to
then
the
you gave up a 3
fundamentals.
on us, so
Yeah, and then when you just watch your opponent
Yeah.
make a really good shot.
I mean, I don't think you're getting there with enough.
Where's your
weight.
mind
You're
going
getting
here?
there
I mean-
clean with enough weight. So.
You got to
gonna
get
be tough.
multiples in this instance. Where are you going with this rock?
Yeah, Aaron did a great job of burying that rock, even though it's not shot
running back
rock.
to
It
red.
is second
You want to
shot.
run the red?
Yeah.
Like you said, the
The
Allisons are
yellow's
looking
more likely to jam
for
on ours.
multiple points. The initial thought
The
was
red
to
might
pick it
too
out of
if
there,
it goes
but
straight,
I think
but-
it's overburied from
So
the
the red
other
might too if it goes
angle.
straight, but
Yep.
what's the chance I hit a run
Would
back
you ever
straight.
run that guard straight back and hope for the best?
They're just talking about that a little bit.
Okay.
Which way are you coming?
It's a pretty far
Let's
run
go
back.
this way, because if I miss, maybe I hit the yellow and we do something.
They're already planning for the plan B.
So I'm throwing like I did on the takeout, like 4.
Just like we were
I did
talking
on
about,
the
you got to
takeout
think
and,
through those.
You gotta move it.
I know.
He's thinking if he over curls
You want me to go heavier?
coming
I like
from
peel at least. Or not peel at least, control
his
it.
left,
Okay. So where am I throwing it then?
so his in-turn
Just at the
side.
corner of it?
Yeah, that or right in between the two.
Okay.
They're just
Well, that's the
talking a
same
little
thing.
bit about what line to throw and how much it's going to curl at that weight.
So it looks like they're definitely going for the run, yeah? Looks a little outside based on the delivery.
Flare there, yeah.
On it! On it! On it! On it! On it! On
They're
it!
going for it.
Oh, real close.
Alright.
Just over curled
Sorry,
a
I was
hair.
too late.
It's okay. One red.
That comes from all that planning.
Yep.
A lot of rocks in play there, more than you would like.
if you're Ishan and Aaron, you definitely wanted less rocks in play.
Yeah. So that's a good point to bring up. I think when you have a lot of rocks in play, managing the house becomes extremely important for paths. You know, anytime you have a bunch of rocks behind the tee line, I think, how did I get myself into this situation? And then how am I going to get myself out of it?
Yeah, no, good point. Good point for sure. We definitely we talk about sometimes you don't need to guard the rock in the house. You need to guard the rock or the path that the rock's going to take to get to that spot. So 6-2 after 4 ends of play, halfway through the Cincinnati Mixed Doubles Cup final, a World Curling Tour event. These players will earn some points on the World Curling Tour World Team Ranking list. You can find those lists at worldcurlingtour.org and curlingzone.com. I would say most of the teams here aren't in it for the money. They're in it for some experience, some points to gain to make that qualifying step to nationals maybe next year or 2 years from now.
Absolutely. And with a lot of those new teams coming in, getting that experience, seeing whether they even want to play on this side of it, and learning that, oh yeah, absolutely I do. This is the type of curling you've been looking for most of the time. Because you and I know we play against the same people week in, week out. Ooh, got an interesting one here.
Yeah, little error there.
A
So
little heavy.
no takeout rule in mixed doubles for the first 5 stones, I like to say. 2 pre-placed stones and the first 3 thrown stones. So unfortunately, that stone goes back. Because it was removed from play, that stone goes back and the shooter is removed from play. So that is your penalty for that foul. It's a rule that kind of is designed to force offense, force some offensive style of play versus defensive style.
Right. So you think they were going to push that guard in and split it a little bit, try and make a much bigger house? That's a tactic we've seen been used a few times, and can be successful. Open it up, make a big scoring area, force your opponent to throw either another guard back, or if they mess up and slide into the house, you got something you can eventually hit because you get to hit first. A little narrow here.
Yeah,
Ishan opens it up a bit.
a little bit. 2 guards down in play, not overlapped as we talk about sometimes. Ishan uses the word hooked, getting those rocks kind of in the shadow of each other, if you were looking at from the end. But just enough to prevent those run back opportunities that Michael Allison tried
Going
earlier
around the outside of the red, or
at the end of the last end, excuse me.
through the hole?
Yeah.
I think all
And
I can do is
even
right now.
getting that little bit of stagger really makes it slightly more difficult.
Like the takeout's there through the hole. I don't know what's wrong with
Well, we can't do a takeout right now. No, we can't do a takeout
it.
right
I'm
now.
aware.
Okay.
So I think around red.
Okay.
Trying to think what I would do if I was them in this situation.
Tap the
Now
red?
that they're able to hit.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's tap the red.
Hey Jim, we need a telestrator so we can start penciling out all the potentials on screen for the folks at home.
If anyone in the viewing audience has a hookup to Telestration, let us know.
Right? If anybody in the listening area.
Cincinnati Curling Club .org. Check us out.
I'm a little surprised they came this direction.
Way. Yeah, me too.
I think you could draw around your own red through the hole if you ended up short or light.
Yeah.
I think they ended up where, I don't know if guarding the rock in the rings is the right call, but I think if you got half buried top 4 or something like that, you could definitely use it later on.
Yeah, and that may have just been a line issue here. Weight-wise, where that would have ended up, probably a solid 3 guard buried behind that red. So maybe just a little light and a little narrow comboed into creating quite the wall for Ishan and Aaron. If they get around that, they're going to be set up for some multiples here pretty quick.
It's got to be a nose tap, though, is the issue. You don't want to lose the protection.
Right. See, the tap the yellow back and then
Oh, look, Jen Lopez in the comments says she's got one at home.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen,
I don't hate the
bring it in.
Yeah. Lady of many talents, Jen
the
Lopez.
way it is.
A little concerning as to why.
Let's see what else is going on in the comments, Jim. What do we got going on in the comments today?
Yeah, they got to deal with it in the garden up here.
Dennis Meddy, 6 feet of fury.
Everybody's loving it.
Big slower here.
28 viewers.
A couple of club members coming back from a event in Chicago are tuned in on the drive. Drive safe. Don't be looking at the feed. Listen to the sweet, soothing sounds of the audio.
Yes, John Penny's soothing voice on the AM dial.
I was teasing Jim earlier. We're going to do some ASMR. Is that what the kids call it?
I think curling is perfect for ASMR. You hear those broom sweeps, and they're
Satisfying for you, is it?
We'll have to play sweeping trivia later on with the different broom styles to see which broom design it is. Is it a hard line? Is it a gold line? Is it an ashen? Balance plus.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. That's curling nerddom at a different level.
Is it a legal head or an illegal head?
Yeah.
If we had hammer, I'd
So
be
this is
hitting all
getting
day
pretty
long.
interesting. A lot of rocks up
If I
front.
had hammer, I'd be hitting all day long.
Single rock in right
You
now
could,
for
if you really wanted to,
Cincinnati team.
hit the inside of
Allison's
the yellow
Got to get in.
into our red.
It's just rough.
Yeah, he's
That's
just
kind of what I'm thinking.
I mean, I was also
talking to
looking for
Flannery a
red,
bit
but the
about,
yellow
like, if
just
we had
wasn't
hammer,
enough
we would
of
do
that
this.
there.
And ultimately, they're trying to score points, even though they're
Okay.
not in the hammer position.
Create.
So I think they still
Sure.
need to maybe tap something up, Chris.
I would start definitely moving things from that center line.
376.
I would be in
It was a
complete
weird
bailout
release.
mode at this point with that many
I
rocks
hate it when
up
you say
front.
that.
Let's see. We've got 4 guards. A yellow staggered on my reds. I'm in a pretty big.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Oh,
Red.
this has come up short too.
Bounce it or not.
Interesting.
Sorry, should have bounced it.
A little bit of an execution error there, but ultimately might be workable on that center line side. If I'd be trying to come at that center line red next and try and move things in, or depending on the amount of curl that I've seen the rest of this game.
Here.
But I
just
think
don't wanna angle this
the Cincinnati
in
team's
and leave the hole.
thinking about that too, closing them out of the house with coming around wide on this yellow. Sitting top 12.
Yeah, I think Aaron and Ishan were talking about coming around the yellow corner guard that you see at the bottom of this screen here on the overhead. I might be tempted. See, this is where I probably got. This is why I'm not in the final, right? If I play the tap on that behind the red
Go
pile
back 12. Like
and roll the shooter to keep it on there, Jim, to the left as we're looking at it now. If I roll the shooter open a bit, do I leave a hole for them to follow down and freeze in there?
Yeah.
It's probably leave that guard as is and go around it, eh?
Yeah, playing. I mean, my preference when I've got hammer and mixed doubles, and I'm in this, and if I got into this situation, would be to leave as many guards up as possible for as long as I could.
Okay.
If I'm up with hammer, I don't need to score any more than 2 and force them to do the more difficult draw. Now, this looks like it's come up quite light and a little wide, but I think it might have done the job of making that draw around that side difficult, which I would not go at if I was Allison. But they need to put something in to be worked with to keep them from getting 2 here.
Yeah, that's this tough situation for red right now.
Panic back on, board.
Okay.
Talking about board weight,
Somewhere between backline and board.
I've got the advantage. I got the headphones on. Chris can't hear what they're talking about. I think they're trying to deal with that
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
red rock
Maybe-
cluster.
Inside
Just
half?
slightly on the inner half of it.
Okay.
So they're going to aim it on the inside half
Nothing
of
else
the
to
yellow.
move their other yellow out of the way if you overcurl.
They aim the outside? Or they're the guard yellow?
Yes, correct.
That tall one or the... Oh, okay.
3-4, that's pretty
yeah.
heavy.
Now we know.
Butcher that.
So they're going right in that center lane one.
Yeah, even if they said if they hit this one,
If that clicks those reds, you're in a world of hurt.
yeah, exactly.
That's the only thing I was scared of there. If I was red, is pushing that in. But it does give them quite the path for. I mean, a lot of real estate for draws here. They've thrown a couple things down this line before, so that may be something I'm thinking through myself.
Oh, am I throwing still?
Yeah, I think you got one more.
Oh, I thought you were throwing.
Not yet.
I don't want to throw this.
Just anywhere in that path.
Yeah, I looked at we go in, we go in, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I mean the line I'm going to take. I don't think we'll ever bury, but I want to make sure I take the path away.
Yep.
Speed's pretty good here, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Light's okay.
Yeah. Bit of an ad, right?
Looks like
Not a lot of sweeping happening now.
he said he gave it a little ad there,
Okay.
Chris.
Whoa, then.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that piece of information
Yep.
as a sweeper makes a big difference. Just hearing from my throwers.
Yeah.
That little bit of information tells me I need to go or I don't.
Yeah.
And then I start making all my judgments as well based off all the data that I've got. But sometimes those ads, they'll get you.
Watch it.
I know I've been bitten by it a few times, not communicating to my front end.
Yeah, I got a chance to chit chat with
My shot.
Joyce McLaren
Yeah, my shot.
and Kevin Meckenbauer after the semifinal game, and they did a fantastic job, I thought, of communicating to each other. The line, the weight, the expectations, the risk, reward, the margins for error, however you want to phrase all of that, those terms. They did a fantastic job of dialing in and getting on the same page together. And then as the execution of that plan starts to unfold,
Just
they
trying to figure out where I'm aiming.
really quick with the cue words and, no personal jibes at anybody or anything like that. And they were just fantastic for fine-tuning those
Pushed a little wide.
little release errors.
Very wide.
Or
It's coming. Curl
leg
it,
drive
curl
errors
it,
or
curl
anything
it,
like that.
curl it. Watch the weight though.
Mike's asking Flannery to curl it here. Feels like he's wide.
It is coming around, but it seems a little heavy.
We got a commenter here. My little Cody. Go Uncle Mike and
No,
Cousin
sorry.
Flannery. Good to have you
Didn't
on
matter,
board.
the weight
Thanks
was
for
too
tuning
heavy.
in.
No, it didn't.
Glad we could
Drawn, right?
showcase your family here.
I mean, yeah. I don't think it's any easier.
The other name I saw in the chat window there, Gregory Banks. I'm sure he loves being called Gregory, but Mr. Banks is a founder of the Cincinnati Curling Club back in 2010. I give him all the credit for getting this started. I moved to town in 2012, and yeah, between him and Daryl Brown, I don't know exactly where we'd be without the pair of them and the efforts that they made early on in that 2010, 2011 seasons.
You're okay. You're okay.
I know when I got here,
Yeah, it's a little bit.
they were not burned out, but they were overworked. They
I don't
did a
think
lot of
anything.
learner curls, did a lot of events to gain exposure in the city.
Sorry about that. My spine was all
And we were just able to grow and add members and supporters and so much stuff, so many programs and efforts that we went into, you know, throwing rocks at Fountain Square and at Blue
I
Ash
think it
Summit
was at the
Park,
side.
Great Doors, just so many great stories in those early days. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're here at the Cincinnati Mixed Doubles Curling Cup, a World Curling Tour event. The players in this event are vying for prize money and points on the World Curling Tour, a World Team Ranking System. I'm joined in the booth here by Chris Perlson. Looking dapper, by the way.
Oh, thank you, John.
Can't
Doing my finest
don't see this on
Don
camera,
Cherry that we can possibly work out.
but he's got a petable coat on there. He's definitely got the crushed red velvet going on.
It's a burgundy.
Burgundy.
It's a burgundy. It smells of rich mahogany and leather-bound books.
That's fantastic.
Got a nice dinner this evening, so I had to dress up. You know.
Kind of skipped over the end there, but Yellow did score one in that. I'd love to say it's a forgettable end.
And we got a power play.
We've gone
One
and
of my
set up
favorite
for the power
situations.
play. Looks like Aaron's coming in hot to try and tick that guard.
Let's talk through some of those opening throws in a power play situation where you're playing essentially offense.
No, maybe I was wrong. She's throwing
Just throwing that top four draw.
top four draw.
Coming up a little short, but that'll be good.
That's
good.
fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Still no takeout rule in effect at this point, so that's a
Do you like
protected
here?
stone.
Or do you like here?
Now the Allisons are talking through their options.
what would you do here, John? They throw that stone right down there on the center line, trying to shrink that scoring zone back down a bit.
Or do
Yeah.
you like here?
Where would you go?
Kind of Christmas.
That's a good question. All
Given the
those are good
scoreboard,
questions.
you're down big. Like
Let's try to get here.
I really think you got to go around the corner guard once.
Coming this way?
I was going to go the other way, but we can go that way.
That puts the pressure
Just that
back
white
on the
guard.
other team to come around the
I
guard
guess if you're reckoning
that
on
they
that, we
just
have bigger
threw.
problems.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a miss out of them.
You forgot the stabilizer again.
You can't necessarily bank or plan for misses, but I don't know. I think I guess I got to pay attention more on how some of these big ends get developed, right? On the power play. I know certainly we got bit on a corner freeze around the corner guard there. It was the
Bottom
opposite
weight.
color that rolled over there, but it effectively shrunk our scoring zone down in a bad way.
Yeah, I think the interesting call
What's
here is
heavy?
I think they're going to
What's
be
heavy?
trying to come around the yellow guard
Okay. Then don't chase
to the
it.
top button.
Let's wick off of it.
Oh, they're going to move that yellow a bit.
Yeah, that's another option, isn't it?
That's not a
probably
bad
more than a
option.
wick.
No, because
Tricky to
Does-
call, but
I said that
Does
was
allow Aaron and Ishan to throw a corner guard.
still only 4 rocks in play, so those rocks are all protected by the no-hit rule in mixed doubles. So you can't just take it out of play.
Maybe even come down and tap that yellow a bit back. Still sit on that center line side, and then you get into open season for hits.
I think about going behind the red. Other ideas.
But I think Team Allison's trying to
There we
keep
go.
their options nice and wide, big and open scoring area, limit the number of yellow rocks in the house, give themselves a chance at getting
Play
multiples.
hit and roll. I think that's okay.
Yeah, they're just rolling through the options here of
My
what they
first call was
might
a draw.
do.
You like that?
Ishan's first call was a draw. They talked about it, maybe a hit and roll or a little tap of some kind. Not so
Yeah.
sure.
I think
Probably
that's the
going
other
like
part of the
T-line
game a
back
lot of
4.
people struggle with is thinking through what the other team's strategy is here.
Yeah.
You know, because you're always really hyper focused on what you're about to do,
A little slow over
but
here. Like a 70.
thinking
might
about
be
the
close.
outcomes of
Through the middle.
what they're going to do next.
You like that?
Big learning curve there.
Way too much right now.
Little balk there from Ishan. They were talking about the weight while he was setting up. 3-7 coming inside out. Something you don't do a lot of in mixed doubles. So they're just trying to think through and plan for how fast this patch of ice is going to be, this path.
So I would think if I was Ishan, I'd be trying to come around those reds. Even if you move them slightly sideways, you're going to do all right. Get a
Yeah,
little
not
light there.
Not sure if the guard helps him at this point.
stabilizer.
Thank you. So what am I throwing?
We have 3 choices, and you can pick whichever one you want. We have 4 choices, but I like any of the 3 which involve that other yellow.
Okay. Let's throw a hit at it and see what happens.
So you can just straight hit it. You can hit it and roll, or you can freeze to it. Freezing to it might be hard because I don't, given where that other stone is.
I'm gonna hit it.
Okay, and which way you coming? Up the middle?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm afraid I'm gonna pull towards it's like that awkward distance where I'm gonna throw it straight up the center, I think.
Okay.
So I think I wanna go outside in.
Okay.
All right.
And which of the, you trying to hit it then?
I'm trying to hit it. If
Okay.
the line's right to roll, great. But
Okay.
first, just hit the thing.
Yep. Out the line.
Needs to curl. Needs to curl. Sweet.
A little unfortunate there. They talked about 3 options on that yellow, whether to freeze to it, hit and stay,
No, I
or
just
hit and roll.
Had my broom down so until you told me what to do,
And,
but I thought you were narrow.
Oh, I said needs to curl twice.
In the end, they got a little miscommunication on the line call. There's a little oversweep there, and ended up hitting the outside of the stone. I don't know if the sweeping made that much of a difference, but
That realized that they
certainly they wanted to stick around there.
stack.
Scoreboard kind of dictating that they need points in a in the worst way.
Yeah, I think with that hit and roll out really does enable Ishan and Aaron to just draw around top 8, fully covered. Put some pressure on him here to make a somewhat difficult run back.
Yeah, I mean, looks like they got 3 stones left. You like drawing around. You never rip your own guard in this situation.
I think that's your error for sure. Be narrow and move it.
Okay.
But eliminating guards here would be pretty good strategy.
Do you ever take a run at pushing that center line one into the pair of reds?
Exactly.
Roll to another corner. Certainly that holds true in the 4-person game, right?
Yep.
Don't
Absolutely.
know in the doubles scenario if it's as common, I'll say. I think
The run back hits not real prevalent this weekend specifically. Haven't seen a whole lot of hitting exhibitions going on out there. Now this has got some velocity on it, so I'm guessing he's ripping this red rock out of here.
going through the hole.
Through the hole. That's
Really good.
and it stuck around, which is interesting. That
Yeah.
it's a bit of a break too.
Yeah, if they ever get a chance to play a double here,
Yep.
they'd be
They can't make the
sitting
come around
large.
completely, right?
Yeah. See what the Allisons have to say here about this situation. Oh, it's quiet.
Do we like this way? Do we like that way better?
There you go.
They're talking
They
about
weren't
what
comfortable with it.
I was
Really
just
matter to
talking
me.
about, coming around that
Both
yellow.
ways get there.
Yeah, they were just a
Yeah.
little slow to start the
He seemed
conversation.
hyped
Usually
about the
she's
other yellow before.
super
I
chatty.
am.
She
Well,
was
the
just
pressure's on.
Until
taking a
it's like
minute. Her,
Okay.
yeah.
I also liked if I got hyper though, there was a yellow back there for me to run into.
Okay.
So I don't know.
There she
Yeah.
is. That's her old self. That's
There
good.
it goes.
Yeah, that mental attitude really has a big bearing on
Make a decision, be sure.
how you execute. I've experienced that myself. Got to stay up. Sometimes it helps to be a little chirpy, a little bit sarcastic, but that's just me. I know what my role on the team is.
And you've got a teammate who's chirpy back to you, I'll say.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Don't know if she's
We're
watching
hitting
right
that
now.
yellow.
oh yeah.
All
but-
day long, I think.
yeah.
I'm sure she'll give us comments later
There's-
on.
It's shocking that there's an opinion to be had in certain situations. Yeah.
Tried to draw around that center guard through the hole, and they ended up over curling a bit and ticking that guard.
And my question is whether that exposes anything. I don't believe it does. I think they're pretty well lined up now. And the corner freeze is still available.
Yeah, you saw Erin tapping her broom butt next to that red stone in the rings. She was definitely eyeballing that corner freeze. Couldn't quite hear if Ishan agreed or not.
Well, she's looks to be holding the broom.
She might just be having another look at it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
With Ishan down the hack, taking a long look at a couple different possibilities. I believe the comment has been said multiple times that he doesn't hate it. As I play with him a lot, I think that's one of my favorites.
Well, hold on.
So I'm waiting for it to come out here.
Yeah, it's a request for merch with "I don't hate it" on a hat, I believe it was, maybe a shirt.
Custom stopwatch
good?
backing.
Custom stopwatch back. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he sees something else from the hack.
Yeah.
Slashing
I mean,
this one in.
the angle's there. I just worry about it jamming on the back yellow.
Do you
Not
hate it?
horrible.
Do you hate
I
it?
don't hate it.
Don't hate it.
As someone who's a self-professed enjoyer of throwing some weight, I don't argue with hits when they're presented to me on a silver platter.
No.
Now, the probability, that's the other part of the game. So
Yeah, I guess where's the risk, right? You over curl a bit and you
bump that yellow red in.
roll a
What do you
red
think?
combo.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'd worry about. Over curl or drastic over curl.
Huh?
You get cheeky, you could throw a double here.
Yeah, I think so.
with
I like that.
with the reds, getting all of the reds out of play.
Now I'm not sure if they went back to the freeze.
I think knowing Ishan, I bet he'd be calling the freeze as the higher probability shot.
Go ahead, yep.
He's more comfortable in the situation, with the scoreboard being what it is.
Got a girl, flung in.
Yeah, you can leave it a hair short too in the CIN there in the Cincinnati part of the top of the logo here.
Line it up for yourself.
Yeah,
You just come up a little light here.
a little bit. I don't know why you stopped sweeping. You could have kept going.
Maybe they're worried about just blocking off as much of the house as possible.
Maybe.
Force them to try and do come-arounds, and they'll end up tapping that yellow.
Apologize to all the moms who are tuned in for
Trying
the
to make you throw
language.
before it's your turn.
Well, are we getting spicy on the
A
mics?
little spicy on the mic.
Tired of throwing?
It's a good thing we're not monetized.
It's not too bad.
Between? Through the hole?
It's all.
I'm just impressed I haven't done it
Hi
yet.
there, one native just threw.
Yeah.
Your time will come.
Oh, you put a mic on me. I'm just going to be chirping at you the entire time.
That's
How was my weight? Light?
There'll be zero curling advice going on.
right.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Whispering into the microphone, sweet nothings to you. Get you all red.
Red faced and sweaty.
Face. Yeah.
Now,
Flannery.
One more time.
Allison. I will get this right. Maybe next year. Trying to play a draw through the hole here. Line's looking real good.
Real good. Sitting.
Not a lot of
There it
sweeping.
is.
Maybe a little bit of finish at the end.
Yeah.
That looks good from this angle, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that is at least half exposed to Aaron.
You make it really good.
Not necessarily knowing if hitting's going to be a good situation here, considering the roll and the angles.
Could she ever hit and roll behind that
got room.
guard, yellow guard on the
be able to
left,
see at least
on
half
the
of it.
bottom of the screen as we're looking at it now?
I think
the
that's what
overhand?
Ishan was tapping. He was saying, hey, hit thick third, roll behind that 3-zone yellow
Yeah, I was
guard.
thinking like good hack board.
I think that's what they're going for. They're talking about hack or board.
Yep, that's about what I would expect. Other option here is just cutting down to the freeze,
No, I think it's
conceding at least
a
one
little
if they get really
edge
good
of that
draw
rock.
for 2.
You like that? The
You're
yellow?
still up.
I think it could move some. I don't mind a little less if you like a little less.
They're just talking about the
I'd
line here
rather
with that weight.
Pick it than wreck the guard.
He'd rather pick it than
Right?
wreck the guard.
Yeah.
So I think the over curl,
Hack the board.
sorry,
Yeah.
the under curl.
Mm-hmm.
As they're coming with this in-turn slide.
Give that some.
Yeah, so the
Tight.
weight looks good. Immediately sweeping, so that's generally a pretty positive thing. She's not really going hard on the calls, so we'll see what happens here. Looks to have overcurled a bit.
And maybe a bit light too.
Oh yeah,
It's all right.
interesting.
She said, I got no legs left, Ishan.
Oh yeah, playing 8 games in 3 days is not easy when you're
Yeah,
used to playing twice a week.
Starting to fade.
That's another part of this that a lot of people don't garner a whole lot of respect for is how many games and how many hours that we've been playing. I played 3 games myself
Outside, in.
in less than 24 hours.
outside in from which side?
I'm coming
I'm,
from this side.
This side?
I'm already hurting, but I can only
Outside,
imagine
towards the
playing
middle.
8,
Well, if you came from the
specifically
outside-
3 in one
Yeah,
day.
I'm not going to go around those. We got backing this way.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
saying,
a.
outside in was not descriptive.
Yeah, okay.
Like I say, sometimes the Olympians make it look easy, but that 30 seconds of sweeping,
In with the outside
you
yellow?
know,
Like,
with a minute recovery for 2 hours, and
your
then
yellow?
upwards of
Which
11
one?
games in a week
The one with the red
at
behind
the
it?
Olympic level. That's
I'm good with either.
an
Okay, how about
amazing
between two?
Okay.
sprint endurance kind of
Any thoughts
thing
on weight?
that's not readily known around the rest of the world.
Oh, needs to curl.
Ooh, needs to curl out of hand.
Yeah.
Needs to curl. Needs to curl.
Still needs to curl.
I really wish these rocks would learn to listen. That would be much easier sport to play.
That wick might have been a good thing.
Ishan's going to get the
Scrub
6 feet of
some
fury out.
speed off of it. He can start sweeping at that tee
Good
line.
enough?
3.
Good enough.
Yeah,
Good enough. Looks like 3 red.
Red.
These are.
So that is after 6 ends of play. We've got a 7-5 lead.
It looks like Ishan may be electing to. I saw his hands up. Might be doing the power play here.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Do we use ours? So once a game, the team with hammer can elect to do a power play, move those rocks to this corner guard position. So they were just trying to decide which side
Yeah.
to play that on.
Look up
So
and look back.
this is actually one of the things that a lot of newer mixed curling players, mixed doubles curling players, struggle with is using the power play defensively.
Correct. Yeah.
So in this instance, they're not necessarily looking to score a bunch of points. It'd be great if they did, but I think they're bringing it out in order to potentially play on a defensive strategy.
Yeah, definitely want to limit the ability for the other team to score. And Krista's in the chat here asking, are there other formats of curling you'd like to see? I have an answer. Chris, do you want to ponder that for a minute, or do you have an answer off the hop?
Oh, I have many opinions on this subject.
Okay.
So my preference is I've heard of this, but I've not seen it executed anywhere. But
It would have been heavy.
singles.
Singles.
So the wick was good.
I said that.
So
but I haven't.
like a hot shot style, or like a
Otherwise,
skills
it would've gone
style,
straight
or an actual 1v1 game.
1v1,
we'll go
very similar to the mixed doubles with preset
think,
stones.
Okay.
And I believe the
Okay.
trick is no sweeping.
At the house all day.
Oh,
Okay.
So that's
take sweeping out of the equation.
one of the factors. I've heard people mention it. I've not seen it played. It intrigues me, and it's
Looks light.
it's an interesting.
Follow it.
Yeah, I was a member of a club in Canada that did a singles format, just kind of a fun spring break style thing for people to. Leagues weren't happening anyway because some people were traveling,
Hey,
but those
look.
who weren't, we'd have a mini tournament over 3 days. It was quite a thing that people got into. I know at our club here locally, we've got a triples league that definitely has become popular.
Yeah.
We tried to model it after a U15 player development model that's started up in possibly Saskatchewan.
So I've heard a little bit about that, but could you explain a little bit how that works?
Yeah, 100%. It's 3v3, but the game is kind of split into
Caroline, thanks.
sets
Justin,
of 2 ends each.
Oh, interesting.
And then you get points based on whether or not you win the set or not. And then players rotate.
Yeah, I like that.
So they would play lead one set, they would play the middle set of stones the next set, and
Well, it's
then
pretty
finish
good.
off with the last stone thrower in the next
nice.
set. So from a player development
maybe a
model
shade.
standpoint, it exposes those kids
Good.
to multiple positions rather than getting stuck throwing lead all the time, throwing the same guard all the time. So that's
Good job.
been kind of fun. We modified
Really
it a
good.
bit to include all 8 rocks instead of just 6 rocks, so that the strategy development stayed strong as well. But certainly that's a format I'd like to see as well.
Yeah, that's. I like the fact that you have to throw each position during the game.
Yeah,
I think that's
You agree with
that's what
that?
makes it really different, and that's what
Yep.
gets you out of that comfort zone and that monotony of getting cast
Your
into the
release
same
was
position,
weird.
maybe on
Was
your
it?
quads team.
Kind of
or-
looked like Froggy
Yeah.
coming out of that hat.
and for
Oh, yeah.
for newer players, it gives them a chance to
No, I
really
did-
try and understand.
I agree.
The skip
My
position
pull-up was weird.
is one. and give an appreciation for that that position, I would say.
That's why I'm over here.
Yeah, getting in the house and seeing the line from down there is always interesting. You get to much different view of the ice.
Even if you don't want to do it
Yeah.
long term, you can definitely step in and play third in a fun spiel or something like that.
Doesn't look terrible. Needs to throw though.
So this power play is kind of setting up in a way we kind of expected. Red throwing to the rings to generate the steal point that they want. Yellow ignoring that situation, going around the corner.
Could be better. Could be worse.
And now it looked like Red was trying to guard that.
To be
They
fair,
were
I never trusted the weight that I
sweeping,
got.
sweeping
Time I got.
to get
Try and get
close
the
to it,
center line.
either guard it or even if they froze to it, it was probably going to be okay. So now I think
Going for the double here?
Ishan's lining up some boom boom hit power here. And
Oh, we got the.
did you give him the Red Bull
I did.
before the game?
Yeah. Well, he elected. Okay, so let's be clear. He elected for the sugar-free, so didn't go high test,
Okay. All
but
right.
he did.
I go nose.
He did imbibe in a little caffeine boost to try and help him get through this game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any risk here. Even if he stuffs it, I guess the worst case scenario, does he ever
And you can't
lay it
hit
and
the
jam
center
on
line side.
on the one that's buried, that pre-positioned stone? Does he ever jam on that?
That's why I'm saying avoid the center line as much as possible. So if anything, you hit the left-hand side of that rock so that you're not in jeopardy of pushing that top 12 stone over to freeze corner on that pre-positioned rock behind your yellow guard. So it looks like he's executed it pretty well here, which is okay.
That's fine.
Because they get that roll on
Yeah.
the top. It just moves things around a bit,
Yeah, I think-
keeps it open. I think they still got to go back to throwing the guard to protect that center line.
Yep. Top
Let's
12,
replace
I
it.
guess, is what they're talking about.
Higher?
Higher was the question.
Higher or straighter?
Higher, yeah.
Higher or
I mean, no,
straighter
the height
was.
was fine. It was like top 12.
I mean, I struggle with,
It wasn't
in this
even
situation,
third
not
shot.
throwing a rock into the rings. If I'm red, I need to generate
Just a
some
little.
points here. If I'm not going to have hammer.
Yeah, there's only this and one more end to play. 8 ends regulation play here. So it's
I got a
got a
389.
steal to get out of this.
Which does bring up the question of, do you let
I'm
the other
looking.
team steal and save your power play for the 8th strategy? That's a fun one. We thought about it yesterday in our game. We had a very similar situation where,
Yeah.
except we
Little bit
were
of an over-adjustment to the
we
other
were
side.
tied going
What?
into
A little
8
bit too far that way,
with
but
hammer
Yeah.
and elected not to do the power
Probably
play,
could come off it
and we had
sooner.
it left. That,
May have
in
checked up
retrospect, probably was
Sure.
maybe not the wisest choice to
about 3
do
inches,
that.
that's all.
But hey, we had a shot. So
They got that rock pretty close to where they wanted it. They talked about higher or straighter. So covering more of the rock being straighter. Top 12 was the call. That's pretty darn close to where they wanted it.
Shouldn't throw much at all, really.
Ishan's lining up the double hit here again, the double takeout.
yeah, I mean, based on the angles, I'd be a little concerned stuffing the back red if you missed it. But I think it's very difficult for the other team to score if they have fewer rocks in the house. It's my motto always.
Yep.
So
Yep.
even
Yep, gotta
eliminating
go.
just that guard is not a bad thing here.
Ishan was liking it.
Yeah, that's a good
Real
roll. Force them to do it again. I mean, rinse and repeat style here.
Yep.
But this is where that repetition sometimes comes back to bite you. Maybe you think you throw it the exact same way 3 times, and this one This one will catch you a little bit off guard. I've experienced that
This is
myself.
terrifying, but I don't think we have a choice.
Allison said this is terrifying, but I don't think we have a choice. Do you ever play the split on the top
Yep.
red?
I want to get my red on that yellow so bad.
Yeah, just draw there on its own.
Green, I know.
I was trying to generate some space between the two reds.
Why?
Yep. No, I agree. The angle was there with the run back that I was worried that it would freeze back over to that yellow. But I think they're just going back to the same shot again.
Yep, they are.
I think they're sitting like half
Trying to
open on this
sweep
one
it
though.
to get it more in front of that stone. Not too bad.
So I think the angle's pretty tight, but again, Ishan's thrown that run twice. Unless we're
I
at
can
Aaron.
try this
I've
instead.
miscounted, but well, it looks like I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Some
about
interesting
3/4
call.
open,
And, like,
so
I think if
now
I-
he thinks he's got options. He's worried about that jam.
So
he
I
just
can play it
motioned
across
to.
the top. It's a little harder to call.
I would be too.
What do you like?
I mean, I've made it twice. This is where
Okay.
my brain
Yep.
is. I'm gonna put myself in Ishan's body for a moment.
So here?
and say, I've made this shot twice. Do I need to make it again,
Don't like it.
or do I eliminate the possibility and just take that back one out and
I
let
don't mind.
Aaron do her thing on the
Want worm?
last
No.
to punch that one straight through and give them.
Yeah, I agree. It's you definitely want to set up yourself for success on the next shot sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So not what you make, what you leave.
Exactly.
To use a pool reference or a snooker reference.
I think I'm still throwing it hard in case I take the guard that it moves.
Yeah.
I think they're still talking about it. Looks
They
like.
are still talking about how much weight now. He wants to go hard at it.
So they're still going after that center line one.
Yeah. He's talking about going across the top of the second hit. So
Sorry?
hitting the
It's over curling, and you think we have a double or
Oh.
something different.
You missed real bad to do that. We'll see.
they're getting I don't know. They're doing okay. I was gonna say a little negative swing thoughts there, but not too bad.
Yep.
Line looks pretty good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Even if he removes that top guard through the gap,
Oh, he's not happy.
Piece. Take the red out. Take the red out.
that's pretty. That's
problem.
pretty good.
That's real good. I think
it's
if
fully
he ever
on.
goes back and watches this game, he'll be happy with that result.
Oh yeah, caught just enough of it.
Getting there is going to be hard.
Any thinner, you push it
Yeah,
straight into
or
that
you-
yellow. So really well executed.
Yep.
I mean, ideally, yeah, that's what I'd do.
Okay.
I think Flannery's gonna throw that draw.
Yeah, they're definitely talking about that. Either hit and flop there or just draw there.
What are you doing in this situation, John? I got to get two. I got to steal here.
Yeah,
right?
and I think you could almost think about your player's strengths at this point too. Are you a hit first person or you draw first person? I think there's an option to nose tap that rock back.
Give yourself that backing.
Whether it goes to
boardish.
the
Okay.
yellow rock at the tee line or
throwing
if it
like what we
goes
threw the
straight
end of
back
last game.
and protected.
Okay.
This is it though, isn't it? This is their last rock. So
Right,
Yep.
nice.
how greedy are you? Do you
Easy.
want to steal two?
Not too hard.
You got it.
I mean, if I'm them, I'm down two.
Yeah.
Got it started. Get on it.
I think you got to
The
go
scoreboard's
for it.
not as large a gap as
Hold
you
it.
might
Come
think.
on. Hard.
'Cause
Hard.
they get
hard,
forward
hard,
shakes.
hard. Come on. Hard all the way. Hard. Hard.
Going for a hit on that.
Hard.
Great
Nice.
sweep, great execution
sweep.
on that. Reds line 2 points right now.
I think Ishan's thinking the double here.
Yeah, guess the other option is to do what they just did, come through and hit for one.
One.
Just hit something.
You have
Double probably rolls out the shooter, so it'd be for two.
Yeah, the angles look a lot
Worst
better
case,
on
we're
the
tied up
overhead
with.
than they do
Worst
from
case.
down angle camera. It's a lot
Sure.
wider
Yep.
from this angle.
Here's another comment with the player strengths. They're talking about just drawing in.
Don't be special.
Yeah, I don't hate this call. I really don't. In all genuineness,
Yeah,
it's
3/4.
it is
Oh, you can take more if you want.
it is her strength. You know, she plays that first and last stone for a reason. She can freeze that first rock into the 4-foot with the first rock and
You can take
draw the
big if you want.
4-foot
I really
with
don't
the
mind.
hammer
I think it's
or
better
the
if you
brick
take cards.
stone there to with that last stone advantage to gain that extra point.
Yeah, there's very few
I like the
people
weight.
I want throwing this rock.
Ishan took a quick look at the stopwatch and said he likes the weight.
He's on and off, so it's got to be close. Mine's
weight's
pretty
good.
good.
Aaron's communicating the line a little bit. Starting to curl, starting to snap a little on him. Decelerates.
They got it
Great
around. That's
judge.
going to be
Great shot, Aaron.
gorgeous.
No
Nice.
problem.
That's steal one.
They got one.
That's good one. Not steal, but that's a good
No,
one.
that's a good one. After 7 ends of play, we've got the team of Ishan Sete and Aaron Dunphy with a 3-point lead over Flannery Allison and Michael Allison from St. Louis. So
here-
both teams have used their power play. That's not an option now. We'll just be straight up.
Hang on for a little longer.
Hang on, Aaron, for a little longer. He says to her. Hang on.
This is the moment you need to get that last spurt of energy to make it through these last 15 minutes of play.
Time to dig deep.
We have hammer. Stay
Having
down
a
there.
supportive partner is critical in these moments.
Stickers on backwards.
No.
What?
I mean,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I just threw a,
I know
I just
that,
threw a
that
thing on it because I
communication
figured it's
gets,
obvious from the score who was hammer.
is super
No, it's
important in
the
these
power play.
moments.
Yeah, no,
I think you called the power play here, not us.
yeah. All I'm saying is it doesn't
Yeah,
Yeah,
matter
you
because
had
it's
the wrong
obvious.
sticker on there.
Good. I was just
Okay.
confused.
I think we lost red stickers along the way, maybe.
Maybe.
We
Oh, no, he found it. He's fixing it.
There you go, just to make people happy.
Thank you.
A little bit of
I just grabbed the
housekeeping
sticker
items
every
going
time
on
it
down
was
the
obvious who had
scoreboard.
called it.
yeah,
Not always.
we asked the players to put a
I
little
guess you
post-it
look at the
note there on
previous
If you
the
look at the previous end,
Yeah.
Unless someone gave up
scoreboard
hammer.
when they use the power play, just to make sure nobody doubles up on the power play
which doesn't
accidentally. And
happen very often.
we can track that in curling
I've seen it
zone and
happen
on
in
the
my
line
conduct a
scores that
couple
we
times.
submit to World Curling Tour. So they've got a stat engine that kind of runs in the background there, so you can, if we do that properly, then you'll have a better idea of what your hammer efficiency or steel efficiency was with and without the power play and stuff like that. So certainly we want to, help support those stat engines when we can. To if players are looking at that in the future, they can understand maybe what went right, what went wrong. Here comes Aaron with an attempted draw to the button, a little bit short, over curled, just touches the guard. Doesn't really move it far off center line.
Yeah, that will need to be addressed at some point. Having guards in this situation, not necessarily your best friend when you're trying to keep them from scoring a lot of points. You need that front of the house pretty well clear.
That's what I was trying to decide.
We're taking a bit of time here to
Yep.
decide which method, which
Need to pile
path
everything into
maybe
the house
to get into the
and hope
rings.
they miss.
There's doubles. Threes are not unheard of.
What? Yeah.
So you're
Definitely
going
want to
through the
load the
hole, going
house,
around that
see if
side?
they can generate a miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that side.
Okay, that's fine.
So they're sticking with the side of the sheet that they know. Going around the center guard.
On the sweeping pretty early here. Might be a little light.
Communication's gotten quite quiet on the mics.
It's not looking horrible from this view.
No.
So that's good.
That's a real good sweep there.
Real good. Come
Real
around.
good judge.
Top
Top
four.
four. If you were to walk that stone down and place it yourself, that might be where you put it.
Let's see what Ishan and Aaron want to do here.
I think could you counter that with a little tap back situation?
It's either that or get rid of some of those guards.
Yeah.
I'd actually be tempted to run some guards back into that situation. But I think we're still within the 5.
Yeah. This is
So,
the 5th stone coming here
Not
now,
until his
so
next is he going to be able to move a whole lot of things around. But
still in the no-hit zone here.
getting down to that top 4 red exposed would be pretty nice. Tap it behind the T line a bit.
How's the weight?
Weight's good.
Okay.
Good
We'll wait for it.
Good weight
Wait
out of
for
the
it.
hand. Wait for the curl.
No, never, never, never. Ah!
Like the never call. Little
Yep,
rubs.
yep, yep. Ah.
Just a hair of a rub on that guard. Rolls into the rings though. Red still sits 2. That being the 5th rock in play now. Opens up the hit situation. I don't think the Allisons want to do any hitting. Most guards are your friends, right, Chris?
Oh yeah, I'd be putting lots of stuff up in front of my 2 and hope that I can get
Concerned
another
you're
one in
running out.
eventually. Because I got to get 3 at least here. That's my plan. I'm getting 3, if not 4,
Well, that hole is bigger than I thought.
Uh-huh.
to win the game.
Which do you like better?
I thought I made that clear when I threw my shot for what I like.
Okay.
But I don't know what you like.
Okay, no, we can go this way. We're wrecking on ours. I can tell you that.
What?
We're not getting by our own.
Okay.
There's just no way.
Okay.
That was the danger going the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you aim?
Seems like she's
Just
wanting to follow
barely on
his.
the outer half of theirs. I mean, just
Well,
past
same-
nose of
same
theirs.
So
draw.
Papa Allison
Just
wanted
past
Just
her to
past
draw
nose of
through
theirs.
that hole the
So-
same
So
way
if I
he
aim
did.
at nose of theirs?
She did not necessarily
Okay.
agree. So when she asked him his opinion of the shot, he
What was
said,
mine?
I thought I made it
48?
clear with
Okay.
my choice
But I
of
was
shot
at the end.
in the start
Yeah.
of the end. So that's just their style of communication. They discussed where he aimed, and I think they're following
3-9.
suit. I think you can afford to chip that
Really?
yellow at the top, 12 foot, and roll behind the
Yes,
corner.
which way? Make a decision.
That would be a good plan B here. It's a
A little
wide
heavy.
here.
Sean's
Rolls a
right
little
to
in.
get that in there.
All right, Ishan. I think he's going to want to
Flashback
come on down to
of a
that.
few ends ago.
Either the top 4, or if you
The
get
one I
really
just threw,
cheeky
was
with
that
it, you
heavy
can get
or was that?
fully tucked between
I
the
just
2
wrecked.
of them.
Weight was pretty close.
Put them in a
Maybe
real
yeah.
tight spot. That whole side of the ice being open, you kind of change the dynamics a bit by moving that guard that was in the 2-3 zone.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch the call from Ishan. I think he's wanting to corner freeze that red at the top 4 for the time being, and then maybe hitting it after the fact.
Yeah.
I guess I think what he said was maybe if we chip that rock in the top 12 on the center line and open that space up a little better for a hit later is a good option.
Narrow?
Narrow call out of hand, which is interesting.
Narrow
I'm
and
good.
light were the two words that they used.
Moving that top yellow guard is not horrible.
Good.
Steph, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Shot stepped in to finish the sweep.
here we- yep,
There's
this
your
is-
little chip and roll.
That lines it up pretty good for the run.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
I don't know
Some
if
might
you're-
even say they don't hate it.
don't hate it. Or could be worse.
Could be worse. Accentuate the positive here in the curling world.
Could be worse. Could be raining. It's your young Frankenstein references out of the bag.
I can't tap ours, right? I gotta get around it.
Yeah, the bonus of that little
Yeah,
chip is
you
it
need to get around
protects
it.
that red tap she just mentioned
It's
on
crossed
the,
over.
on the
I'm gonna do 8-12 then.
if
so
Jim
I'm probably
switches
going
right
up
away
3-6.
here
Okay.
to this screen that he's got. Oh, I like the one he had. That's fine. I'm distracted by
376.
switcher. As we're looking at that, the yellow at the NN in Cincinnati at the top 12 is overlapped nicely.
Carl! At least it's usable.
Yeah, that's why I switched back around. I didn't want it curling too much.
What was it?
376.
Okay.
All right, so just a little bit of a missed execution there.
This goes nowhere. Our shooter catches here. Like there's gonna be a bunch of
This is
junk.
getting pretty interesting.
Make this a little better. Keep the angle here.
I think he likes the tap here.
I just never want to open this up right now.
Is it a question of timing? Like, not necessarily the hit, but when you hit?
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's the shot.
Taking away the red runs is also another really good
I think we need
backup
to get
here.
something. Well,
Them getting two, not going to hurt you, obviously.
Correct.
But how do they get their third? How do you
Prevent that.
Their best
go
bet right
through the
now
progressions of?
either this port
Do I even need to address that red?
or tapping this.
If I knock that red out, they can only ever get three.
So like, start
If I
here.
miss it, they can get four. That's the quandary.
Could you ever tap the one he was lining up to
Like the
run
three
into
they
the
can't
top
use,
yellow?
right,
Would you ever
really?
tap that one that's biting the top 8 foot straight back?
Yes.
Just to miss those red pair and go to the T line. You could almost be shot.
You like
It,
that?
it really could.
I don't
I
know
think
if you need to be shot, but I think you just need to be closer to the middle to shrink that score.
You like that other
I
shot
feel
better
like
then?
3 is still in the cards
Really?
for Redstone shooting Allison team.
Mhm. because they're worried about that outside red being promotable.
Do you hit and roll off of that into the red yellow pair
That's-
toward the middle?
That's
Maybe
that's
bump
what
that.
I'm thinking.
You like
is
that better?
You've always got some options, but I think where it's lined up, if we get an overhead view on that on the house here, we've got
Right,
that
like
red
the
yellow
yellow's
at the
not
top of
getting
the
that much
house shoots that yellow, I think, straight through that gap if you come
The
at it a
wide
little too
one,
quick.
Which I think we have to let him throw the wide one.
Okay, so we go like this. Okay.
So
I don't know, Aaron.
let's see what they will end up
Yellow's
doing
not
here.
good right now.
It's a lot easier to skip from in here than it is from out there, I can tell you
Sure
that.
is. Oh, this is exactly the pressure situations that I'm really hoping and
Yeah,
glad
put it
they're
inside
going
out.
through. This is
Well,
going
I
to
don't
make you
have to
stronger
actually.
in the future, guys.
Okay.
And potentially give away all their secrets, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I'm heavy, let me know.
If I caught what they
That looks like tappable, if not
Yeah.
pushing that red rock
Coming down.
behind T line
No.
and sitting half open with a yellow guard out
Yep.
front.
Yep. Whoa, sorry. Whoa.
Oh no, came up a little light here.
Oh, they should have been sweeping that maybe.
Okay.
Well,
It's a difficult shot to get another one in there. That doesn't. I mean, it's part of the ice they haven't thrown on. I can tell you that. I mean, not much has been thrown out into the 12-foot region on that side of the sheet.
Well,
On either side, for that matter.
yeah.
yeah, that'll be fine.
Because I can hit it to this side and
Ishan's got some tappable things. Aaron's extremely capable in that department of throwing those high-pressure shots in the last. Let's see what Allison does here.
5'9".
I think I might be too wide.
She said she thinks she might be too wide as the rock comes into our view here.
That's pretty good for not being on that ice the entire game.
Yeah.
T-line.
T-line way down on the
It's
edge.
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. We could go after that hit
Or tap.
or tap this up to outcount that stone that Allison just threw, that Flannery just threw.
Trying to get this in a little better.
Then you
yeah?
got to think how they're going to get their 3
Yeah,
if you don't do this.
Yeah.
correct. I think this yellow tap is what they've been eyeballing.
Even if you overcurl
Just
a
gotta
little bit,
get
like
full
I don't know,
8.
something could happen there.
The question
if you're-
sometimes is weight, right? It looks like you don't have to tap it very far, but now you're moving 80 pounds instead of 40. You really want to make sure you're back 8 foot weight here.
There's some really positive errors
Yellow.
on this line. You overcurl a bit, you can tap that hooked back one into the opposite 8, fully covered behind those guards, and that eliminates some possibilities.
Sure.
There's
I was thinking at least half.
obviously the A play is to just
Yeah.
tap it straight in.
And
Yeah, there's
Fully.
a good call. I
Time.
think Ishan just said at least hack.
Okay.
maybe like middle of that hole. A little more than the middle of that hole.
And you just hit dead nose on that, and
Yeah.
you'll be completely buried
Yeah.
underneath a lot of things.
Yeah.
You'll get 2. Maybe you'll even get 2 if you get lucky. Squirt it off that top one. I don't know if it goes completely sideways.
Weight's pretty good.
Gotta go. Narrow.
Immediately out of hand.
Yeah, she
Oh,
came out inside.
Yeah.
a lot of plan
Inside.
B's thinking through here.
Something.
Oh, that's
Okay.
okay. I think that'll be
Okay.
all right.
Out counting that outside red
Or we
is
hit
the
this.
only thing they really need to
That-
concern
that's-
themselves with.
If I hit it too narrow, we get ours.
The angles are such that it'd be pretty
That one
dangerous
we
to
could tap
throw at
into
that,
here.
Hold on.
that yellow one that's out counting that side.
I'm just debating if hits for the win.
No, I don't think
it's-
so.
Get to the nose.
Because
They're not
if I
sure if
hit
they're
it
deep
nose,
enough.
that one's going to outcount it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if you're deep
But
enough to
if I hit
out-count
here,
Yeah, that's
that,
would
the,
be
where that
possible
top
for the
yellow
out.
rolled to.
yeah.
I'd be looking very
It doesn't
closely
matter,
at
that one.
this.
So that's the only reason I even question. They also spit that
4
that
for the
way,
win,
so
3
you
for
have
the
less
tie.
room to play on that side. Hit it nose, you're good.
Catch too much to the side of that,
I think we go for
shoots
the
it
tie
straight
of
out the
this
side,
one.
and you're
Okay, it's your shot.
not in the best of positions. Let's see what they're talking about.
It's almost good that they didn't tap it too deep, right, Chris? I mean, that nose now. He's worried if he hits it on the
Where
right-hand
have you
side
been
as we're
throwing
looking
these?
at it on the screen. He jams on his own.
Oh, so I'm gonna go
He's
get
got
my
to roll
stable. Oh, you got it.
somewhere.
I got
Rolling
it.
to the inside. That top
Where have you been
12
throwing these?
yellow on center line is blocking
Where
that
have I
path
been
a little bit.
I
Well,
think
where
they're
have you
edge
been
on edge
throwing?
for sure.
Not where you've been aiming,
Based
where
on
you've been
that,
throwing.
that view you've
I was
got.
aiming 8-12. obviously that last one.
So now they're
was
talking about
wide.
going
I
back to
threw it
that
wide,
raise
wider
on the
back,
other
and it
side.
Never came back.
Uh-huh.
Both
Interesting.
of them I aimed 8-12. I think I hit it the
Playing
first
for the
time.
tie.
I'd probably aim it all red
Sometimes
stone,
the
honestly,
decision you
for
need to make. Live to fight another
The
day
deep one, you
situation.
mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the reason I was tempted to hit. Is I'm slightly more confident with line over there. But
Wait. 3-6.
at least 3.6, 3.5.
They're asking for a 3.6 or a 3.5 weight.
I can't see. Okay. Line looks okay.
Maybe a little heavy.
Oh, a little heavy there.
A little heavy.
Too hard, huh?
Yeah, 3-1.
And
That's 2 for red.
we go.
And that is game. They win. I'm going to take the mic, Chris. Or Chris, thanks for joining us in the thanks for joining us in the booth. Much appreciated. I'm going to grab the microphone from him.
I've got the left for that.
Wireless mics are picking up a little bit. I'm going to talk all the way. I'm getting coached as I go. We're going to go check out and see
Yeah.
if we can get an interview with the gang after this
They
win.
never told me how heavy it was. So.
Ishan's telling me to go away.
Giggle was
His
enough.
wireless mic might still be on, I hope.
You thought what?
I thought my giggle as you let go was enough to say how heavy it was.
Yeah.
Got to thank all the volunteers again for putting on a fantastic event. Clutch a game came down to so much at the end here. Such a tight game, such a tight battle. Congratulations on the attempt.
Attempts are always good, right? Here, we're going to put this
Second
up here to
place.
make it look.
There you go.
Respectable.
There you go. Camera's right here. Congratulations, Ishan. Aaron, great performance today, all weekend. You got any words?
None left, no.
Nothing left. He's all out of gas. Aaron?
I'm really tired.
Really tired. Should we do this more often? Maybe three events a season?
Not playing this again, no.
Not happening?
I may not have a partner after this.
They're still in doubt, ladies and gentlemen. They're still in doubt. They're not sure if the partnership is going to come. We've got Monique Penny coming in here with our really big check. No, you're on camera. Come on in. Oh, you'll get mad at you for the hoodie.
Club logo hoodie.
Here you go, guys. Congratulations on the win. You had a great weekend.
There you go.
Congratulations. We'll get a picture here. The 2023 Mixed Doubles Curling Cup champion
Don't fall over, guy.
team Ishan Sethi and Aaron Dunphy. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for all the volunteers for putting on a great event. And hopefully we'll see you again next year. Thanks, Monique, for doing the draw mastery. Thanks. We'll see you next time, everybody.